For the first time in history, another company has outsold Tesla in pure electric vehicles, and the numbers are shocking. In the final quarter of 2023, China's BYD surged ahead, selling more EVs than Tesla for the first time ever. And it's not just a fluke, Tesla's lead is shrinking fast. So what went wrong? And is this the beginning of the end for Tesla's dominance? What does this mean for the future of electric vehicles? And why is Elon Musk scrambling to respond? Stick around, because what we're about to uncover might just change the way you see the EV industry forever. Let's dive in. What's happening? For over a decade, Tesla was the undisputed leader in the electric vehicle industry. It wasn't just another car company, it was a symbol of innovation, cutting-edge technology, and the future of transportation. Elon Musk's vision of high-performance, long-range EVs revolutionized the market, pushing major automakers to scramble and catch up. Tesla's early lead gave it an advantage that seemed impossible to surpass. With superior battery technology, the most extensive charging network, and a devoted customer base, Tesla dominated the competition. But dominance often breeds complacency, and cracks in Tesla's armor slowly began to appear. At first, these were small missteps that didn't seem like a major threat. Production delays, occasional quality control issues, and missed delivery targets became normal expectations for Tesla buyers. But as the industry evolved, these once overlooked problems became critical weaknesses. Competitors, particularly in China, were watching, learning, and preparing to strike. Tesla had built an empire on being the first and the best, but suddenly it was no longer the only serious player in the game. While Tesla once stood alone at the top, a new rival was quietly rising in the shadows, one that would eventually dethrone it as the world's top EV maker: the BYD takeover. When Tesla launched its first mass-market electric vehicle, the Model S, in the early 2010s, China was still viewed as an EV underdog. While the country had growing ambitions in the sector, no Chinese company posed a serious threat to Tesla's reign. That all changed with BYD, a company that had spent years refining its battery technology and building an EV empire, largely unnoticed by the Western market. BYD wasn't an overnight success. Founded in the 1990s as a battery manufacturer, the company's strategy was completely different from Tesla's. Instead of focusing on luxury, high-performance EVs, BYD aimed for affordable, mass-market electric vehicles. At first, BYD's cars were dismissed as cheap, low-quality imitations of Western automakers. Elon Musk himself mocked BYD in an early interview, laughing at the idea that it could compete with Tesla. But while Tesla was focused on building its brand and perfecting its software, BYD was quietly scaling up its production capabilities and securing control over its supply chain. By 2023, the moment that Tesla had long feared finally arrived. In the final quarter of the year, BYD outsold Tesla in global EV sales for the first time in history. The numbers were staggering. Over 526,000 vehicles sold compared to Tesla's 484,000. This wasn't just a minor fluctuation, it was a historic turning point that signaled a shift in global EV dominance. What made BYD so successful? The answer was simple: cost, efficiency, and government backing. BYD had mastered mass production, allowing it to undercut Tesla's prices without sacrificing profit margins. It also benefited from China's aggressive EV subsidies, which gave the company a massive cost advantage over Tesla, which had to rely on expensive Western supply chains. While Tesla was struggling to expand into key markets, BYD was aggressively pushing into Europe, Latin America, and other global regions, offering affordable, high-quality EVs that appealed to a wider audience. But BYD's rise wasn't just about what it did right, it was also about what Tesla did wrong. The company's production problems, supply chain nightmares, and pricing miscalculations only made things worse. As Tesla battled logistical and regulatory challenges, BYD continued to gain momentum, proving that the EV industry was no longer Tesla's to dominate. Tesla's biggest weakness. Tesla's biggest innovation, gigafactories, was supposed to be its greatest strength. The idea was simple. By controlling its own high-tech manufacturing facilities, Tesla could ensure quality control, reduce costs, and scale production more efficiently than traditional automakers. But in reality, gigafactories turned into a massive liability that exposed Tesla's over-reliance on centralized production and a fragile supply chain. Tesla's production strategy relied on a highly complex and rigid supply chain, making it vulnerable to disruptions. Between 2020 and 2023, the global supply chain crisis exposed just how fragile Tesla's production system really was. Shortages in microchips, raw materials, and battery components slowed down production, leading to missed delivery deadlines, increased costs, and lost revenue. While competitors like BYD and legacy automakers diversified their supply chains, Tesla remained heavily dependent on single suppliers, making it highly susceptible to disruptions. Adding to the problem was Tesla's constant struggle with labor disputes and regulatory issues. Its Berlin Gigafactory faced worker strikes over pay, working conditions, and job security. Its Shanghai plant was impacted by China's strict lockdowns and government policies, while its American factories struggled with union conflicts and production bottlenecks. This meant that even when demand for Tesla's cars was strong, the company couldn't manufacture them fast enough to keep up. Tesla's aggressive global expansion also put immense pressure on production efficiency. The company ramped up gigafactory construction across Germany, Texas, and Shanghai, but rushed timelines led to production inconsistencies. Employees at Tesla factories reported long hours, high turnover rates, and unrealistic targets, further contributing to quality control issues. These problems tarnished Tesla's once stellar reputation for reliability and innovation. Reports of poorly assembled vehicles, software malfunctions, and inconsistent build quality became more frequent, frustrating customers and leading to increased recalls. BYD, in contrast, had perfected high-volume production, meaning fewer quality complaints and higher customer satisfaction. Tesla's once unbreakable lead was fading fast, and as the company struggled to fix its manufacturing bottlenecks, it made another major miscalculation: its pricing strategy. Instead of stabilizing its supply chain and production efficiency, Tesla resorted to drastic price cuts, further destabilizing its brand and financial position. The EV price war. In an attempt to fight back against growing competition, Tesla launched an aggressive price-cutting strategy. The goal was clear: lower prices to stay competitive and drive demand higher, but the results were far from what Tesla expected. Tesla slashed prices across its entire lineup in early 2023, with some models seeing reductions of over 20%. At first, this seemed like a brilliant move. Tesla's sales increased and demand surged, but soon the downsides became obvious. For one, the price cuts eroded Tesla's brand value. For years, Tesla had positioned itself as a premium EV maker, but the sudden drop in prices made its cars feel less exclusive. Buyers who had previously paid full price were furious, realizing their cars had lost value overnight. Some customers even canceled their orders, waiting for further price cuts, while others filed lawsuits in frustration. Tesla's profit margins also took a massive hit, forcing the company to sell more cars just to break even. A business model that once relied on high-margin sales was now in uncharted territory, competing on volume instead of exclusivity. This shift put Tesla in a difficult position, as the company had previously relied on its brand power and cutting-edge technology to justify higher prices. More importantly, the strategy failed to stop the competition. Instead of gaining an advantage, Tesla's price war simply triggered a chain reaction. Other EV makers responded by lowering their prices too. BYD, with its lower manufacturing costs and government backing, was able to cut prices even further, leaving Tesla struggling to keep up. Legacy automakers like Ford and Volkswagen also joined the battle, making the price war even more intense. As a result, Tesla weakened its own financial position while allowing BYD to expand even faster. Rather than cementing its dominance, Tesla found itself losing control of the EV market. While the company hoped to force competitors out, it instead highlighted its own vulnerabilities, proving that Tesla could no longer dictate market prices. Tesla's fall from undisputed dominance wasn't caused by a single event. It was a series of strategic missteps, production failures, and aggressive competition. While Tesla was once the only serious EV maker, it had failed to prepare for a world where others could match or surpass its innovations. With BYD leading the charge, Tesla is now at a crucial turning point. Will it adapt and fight back, or will it continue to lose ground in the EV market? Let's talk about the bigger picture, including China's government-backed EV dominance. China's government-backed EV dominance. For years, Tesla was seen as the gold standard of electric vehicle technology. It had the best battery efficiency, the most advanced autonomous driving software, and the strongest brand reputation. But while Tesla was growing organically, China was strategically crafting an electric vehicle empire, and one that Tesla could not compete with. The Chinese government has aggressively invested in the electric vehicle industry, providing billions in subsidies, tax breaks, and infrastructure support. Unlike the United States, where the government takes a hands-off approach, China actively shapes the direction of its automotive industry. Companies like BYD, NIO, and XPeng benefit from government incentives that allow them to sell cars at lower prices while maintaining strong profit margins. One of the biggest advantages for Chinese automakers is their battery supply chain control. China dominates over 70% of the world's battery production, controlling not just the assembly of battery cells, but also the mining and refinement of key materials like lithium, cobalt, and nickel. While Tesla has struggled with rising battery costs, BYD has lowered its production expenses by manufacturing its own lithium iron phosphate batteries, which are cheaper and safer than the nickel-based batteries Tesla relies on. Tesla is now facing an uphill battle. The price of its vehicles is significantly higher than BYD's, and with no access to China's government-backed supply chains, it is becoming nearly impossible for Tesla to compete on cost. This is why BYD outsold Tesla in the final quarter of 2023. It could offer high-quality EVs at much lower prices. Tesla's global dominance is no longer guaranteed. As new players continue to enter the market, Tesla must find a way to compete or risk being pushed out of key regions. But Tesla's biggest concern is not just competition, it is the fading appeal of its technology. The fading technological advantage. Can Tesla's innovation save it? Tesla built its reputation on being ahead of the curve. From long-range batteries to self-driving technology, it was always the leader in EV innovation. But as the industry evolves, Tesla's once revolutionary technology is starting to fall behind. One of Tesla's biggest selling points has always been its autopilot and full self-driving systems. Elon Musk has spent years promising a fully autonomous future, but the reality is that Tesla's self-driving software is still far from perfect. Issues with lane detection, sudden braking, and regulatory concerns have led to multiple safety investigations and lawsuits. Meanwhile, companies like Waymo, Cruise, and even BYD are developing more advanced driver assistance systems that could soon outperform Tesla's software. Battery technology is another area where Tesla is no longer ahead. Tesla's 4,680 battery cells, which Musk promised would revolutionize energy storage, have faced production delays and technical challenges. In contrast, BYD's Blade battery is already on the market, offering lower costs, better safety, and a longer lifespan. Other competitors, including Toyota and solid-state battery startups, are working on next-generation battery technologies that could soon make Tesla's innovations outdated. Tesla's survival depends on whether it can successfully scale its 4,680 battery production and full self-driving program. If it can achieve mass production of cheaper, higher performance batteries and perfect its autonomous driving technology, it could regain its lead. But if delays continue, it risks becoming just another automaker rather than the disruptive force it once was. In the EV market, being first is not enough. If Tesla cannot maintain its technological lead, it risks becoming just another automaker rather than the disruptive force it once was. And if that was not enough, Tesla's biggest wildcard, Elon Musk himself, is becoming more of a liability than an asset. Elon Musk's controversies. Elon Musk is one of the most famous CEOs in the world, but his leadership style is increasingly causing problems for Tesla. Once viewed as a visionary entrepreneur, Musk's erratic behavior and controversial decisions have begun to alienate investors, employees, and customers alike. One of the biggest issues is Musk's focus on Twitter, now X. After acquiring the platform in 2022, he became obsessed with reshaping it, spending more time making controversial statements online than focusing on Tesla's growing challenges. Many Tesla investors grew frustrated, seeing Musk's Twitter activities as a distraction that hurt the company's stock value. Musk's management style has also led to major internal conflicts at Tesla. Reports of mass layoffs, high employee turnover, and a toxic work culture have damaged Tesla's reputation as an employer. His aggressive approach to cost-cutting and production ramp-ups has created frequent tensions with both employees and regulatory bodies. Perhaps the biggest concern is Musk's unpredictability. While his bold leadership once helped Tesla take risks that paid off, his recent questionable decisions and polarizing statements have started to hurt the brand. Some customers have even distanced themselves from Tesla due to Musk's political opinions and public controversies. Tesla has always been synonymous with Elon Musk, but now that association might be doing more harm than good. If Tesla wants to survive long term, it may need to find a way to separate itself from Musk's personal brand, something that will not be easy. Tesla's fall from the top is not just about competition, it is about a changing global landscape that Tesla is struggling to keep up with. While BYD and other rivals are expanding aggressively, Tesla is dealing with supply chain issues and pricing problems. But Tesla is not just competing on price, it is also doubling down on its technological edge, hoping that new innovations will help it stay ahead. Can Tesla's next-generation battery technology save it? One of the biggest factors that determines the success of an EV company is battery technology. Tesla revolutionized the industry with its high-energy density batteries, but today its lead is shrinking. Chinese automakers, particularly BYD, have caught up in battery innovation, while new startups and legacy automakers are pushing next-generation battery breakthroughs. To regain its technological edge, Tesla has been working on its 4,680 battery cells, which Elon Musk promised would dramatically reduce production costs, improve energy efficiency, and increase vehicle range. However, scaling up production of these batteries has proven to be a major challenge. Tesla has faced multiple delays and technical issues, preventing it from achieving the cost savings and performance improvements Musk initially predicted. Meanwhile, competitors are moving ahead with new battery innovations. BYD's Blade battery has already proven to be cheaper, safer, and longer lasting than Tesla's current lithium-ion batteries. Toyota is investing heavily in solid-state battery technology, which could double EV range and eliminate charging concerns. Even traditional automakers like Ford and General Motors are partnering with battery startups to develop next-generation energy storage solutions. Tesla's future depends on whether it can successfully scale its 4,680 battery production. If it can achieve mass production at competitive costs, it could regain its technological lead, but if it continues to struggle, it will only fall further behind in the EV arms race. Tesla is no longer the undisputed leader of the electric vehicle market. It is now fighting a battle on multiple fronts, slashing prices to keep up with competition, racing to develop new battery and self-driving technologies, and struggling with its shifting brand identity. Now let's talk about other automakers that face similar challenges and how they responded, providing insight into what Tesla must do to survive. General Motors and the EV one. Tesla is not the first automaker to lead in electric vehicles. General Motors once held that position with the EV1, a groundbreaking electric car that debuted in the 1990s. It was ahead of its time, offering a sleek design, a solid range, and strong consumer interest. However, instead of refining and expanding its EV program, GM killed the EV1, citing high production costs and limited profitability. This short-sighted decision would go down as one of the biggest blunders in automotive history. By the time GM realized its mistake, Tesla had already entered the market, capitalizing on the growing demand for sustainable, high-performance electric cars. GM's reluctance to commit to EVs early on set it back by decades, forcing the company to play catch-up in an industry it could have led. Today, Tesla risks making a similar mistake, but in reverse. Instead of abandoning EVs like GM did, Tesla may cling too tightly to its current models and technology, ignoring the need for rapid innovation and adaptation. The EV landscape is evolving with solid-state batteries, advanced driver assist systems, and affordability-focused models that could soon make Tesla's existing technology obsolete. If Tesla fails to evolve, it could lose its edge to more aggressive and adaptive competitors like BYD, Rivian, and legacy automakers that are now prioritizing EV development. GM's failure with the EV1 proves that being an early leader is meaningless without continuous innovation. If Tesla wants to maintain its dominance, it must stay ahead of technological shifts and address production bottlenecks, cost challenges, and quality concerns. Otherwise, it may find itself struggling just like GM, watching others take the lead in an industry it once defined. The fall of Ford's Model T monopoly. In the early 1900s, Ford's Model T revolutionized transportation. Much like Tesla's Model S and Model 3 changed the EV landscape. For years, Ford dominated the automobile industry, controlling more than half the market in the 1920s. But by the 1930s, Ford's dominance collapsed, and the company found itself struggling to compete with General Motors and Chrysler. What went wrong? Ford refused to innovate and diversify. Henry Ford was obsessed with keeping costs low and streamlining production, which led him to stick to one model, the Model T, for far too long. Meanwhile, competitors like General Motors started offering vehicles with more variety, better designs, and improved features. Customers wanted options, luxury, and customization, but Ford kept trying to force a one-size-fits-all approach. Tesla is now walking a similar path. While Tesla once stood out for its sleek, futuristic designs and superior technology, it has been slow to introduce new models and stubbornly resistant to interior innovation. Elon Musk has delayed the launch of multiple models, including the long-awaited Cybertruck, Roadster, and affordable compact EV. In contrast, competitors like BYD, Volkswagen, and Rivian are rolling out new models at a rapid pace, offering better range, luxury features, and competitive pricing. Another key similarity is that Ford underestimated shifting consumer preferences. In the Model T era, customers eventually wanted more variety, advanced features, and better comfort, not just an affordable, mass-produced car. Today, Tesla buyers expect more than just range and performance. They want affordability, comfort, and cutting-edge technology, such as advanced driver assist systems, refined interiors, and seamless infotainment integration. Tesla's reluctance to offer diverse vehicle options, particularly in the mid-price and entry-level EV segments, is allowing competitors to take market share. Ford eventually had to adapt, but by the time it did, GM and Chrysler had already gained significant ground. Tesla must recognize the warning signs before it is too late. If it does not broaden its lineup, refine its designs, and improve affordability, it risks becoming a legacy automaker struggling to stay relevant in an evolving market. But even if Tesla fixes its technology and market strategies, it still faces one of the biggest challenges in modern business: supply chain dominance. Unlike Ford, which controlled every aspect of its production, Tesla is highly dependent on external suppliers. In an industry where battery technology and material sourcing determine success, Tesla must reinvent its supply chain strategy or risk losing its competitive edge. Toyota's hybrid versus EV battle. For decades, Toyota was the world's most innovative automaker, pioneering hybrid technology with the Prius and pushing fuel efficiency to new levels. It built a reputation for reliability, affordability, and cutting-edge engineering, making it one of the most dominant car manufacturers in history. However, when the EV revolution began, Toyota hesitated. Instead of fully committing to battery electric vehicles, it doubled down on hybrids and hydrogen fuel cells, believing that BEVs were too costly, impractical, and dependent on an underdeveloped charging infrastructure. Meanwhile, Tesla and BYD surged ahead, proving that electric cars were not just the future, but the present. Governments worldwide began pushing stricter emissions regulations, and consumers started demanding longer range, more affordable EVs. Toyota's bet on hybrids backfired, as the world shifted toward full electrification much faster than anticipated. By the time Toyota finally acknowledged the shift, Tesla and Chinese automakers had already captured the EV market. Now, Toyota is scrambling to catch up. It has committed to investing billions in EV battery research, developing solid-state battery technology, and launching a new wave of fully electric models. However, the delay has allowed competitors to gain a massive head start, making it far harder for Toyota to establish itself as a dominant player in the EV industry. Once viewed as an industry leader, Toyota is now playing defense, trying to recover the ground it should have never lost. Tesla could face a similar fate if it continues to fall behind in battery technology, software development, and vehicle affordability. Just as Toyota underestimated the speed of EV adoption, Tesla may be underestimating the threat of new competitors who are aggressively pushing innovation, slashing prices, and improving quality faster than Tesla can react. BYD, Volkswagen, and Rivian are all rapidly expanding their EV lineups, while Tesla remains overly reliant on a small number of aging models. Toyota's delayed transition proves that even the strongest automotive brands can lose their position if they refuse to evolve. Tesla must ensure that it does not become the next company struggling to catch up after squandering its early lead. As Tesla faces its most uncertain years ahead, the question remains: can it learn from these historic failures and reclaim its position as the undisputed EV leader? Or will it, like Toyota, find itself falling behind in a race it once controlled? Tesla is at a turning point. The company transformed the automotive industry, but its future is no longer guaranteed. The rise of Chinese EV makers, technological disruptions, supply chain challenges, and shifting consumer preferences are all threatening its dominance. History has shown that even the biggest brands can fall if they fail to adapt. Tesla must rethink its strategy, expand its vehicle lineup, prioritize battery and software advancements, and refocus on quality and affordability. If it ignores these challenges, it risks becoming another GM or Ford Model T era disaster. The next few years will determine whether Tesla Tesla survives as an EV leader or becomes a cautionary tale in automotive history? What do you think? Will Tesla bounce back or fall behind? Drop a comment below and let's discuss. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.